Hi, guys. If you're a subscriber, thank you. If you just happen to stop by here and find me and you're not a subscriber, I hope you'll take a listen and then hit that button and help me out so I can keep doing this. Okay, this is real life. This is not satire. I don't even know what to make of this. Trump wants menstrual classes for women and a $5,000 baby bonus to reverse declining birth rates. Okay, aside from just the overall creepiness factor of this, you know what they want are white babies. And we know this from Elon Musk. They don't like brown people. Trump is a stone cold racist. This is eugenics. This is racism. He is trying to get rid of as many brown people, brown and black people in this country as possible. He wants black people in this country who need a leg up because of our history of racism and slavery in this country and civil rights problems. So he wants to eliminate anything that helps bring that part of society up to where they should be, to they have the same opportunities. Everybody has the same opportunities. He doesn't care about an opportunity society. What he wants is black and brown people out of the way. We know he did that with on the floor of the casinos. We've been told that he didn't like to see. He didn't think his high rollers wanted to see black employees on the casino floor. So at Atlantic City Casino, when he and Ivana were there, all the black employees were supposed to go in the back. We know that Trump he's just a racist, Nazi, anti-Semite, everything, and a sexist. His late ex-wife, the first ex-wife, Ivana, said that he kept a book of Hitler's speeches on his bedside. He did not deny that. He just said, "Who told you that?" when it was brought up. But he doesn't deny it. He likes it. And we know that Trump isn't exactly a big reader. So my guess is this is the only book he's ever read. We know he didn't write his own books, which means he didn't read his own books. So this is true. We know that Trump and his father were sued in the 1970s twice by the government, by DOJ, for not allowing black and brown people to rent their apartments. Okay? Racist. He wouldn't let people of color rent his apartments. He got caught, they got sued, and they settled both times, not once, but twice. Okay? So what they were doing is they were having the employees of their apartment buildings, if a black or brown person came in to, fill out an application for an apartment, the employees were ordered to mark that application with a C for colored, a C for colored, so they could then deny them apartments based solely on race. Trump did this and got caught twice. So anybody that thinks he's a guy that learns his lesson when he's been nabbed by the long arm of the law, never has. He thinks this is right. So we know he's a racist. So we know that he does not want to give these $5,000 bonuses to people for giving birth to brown and black babies. Now he wants the $5 million that people can pay for a special visa. Mar-a-Lago is a place where Russians go, rich Russians go, and they'll give birth. They'll go to Florida to give birth so that their babies will be American citizens. Birthright citizenship. Yeah. I don't think he has a problem with that. Those are his people, the Russians. Okay. So here's, I can't even believe this is real life, this article. When I was looking at this, I swear to goodness, I was thinking it was satire. I could not believe that this was a real thing, but it is. And this sounds very Elon Musk, Stephen Miller. So he is, President Donald Trump is considering several ways to reverse the country's declining birth rate, including offering a $5,000 baby bonus for each new child's mother and menstrual classes to improve chances at pregnancy. Oh, my Lord. Because birth rates have declined sharply since 1960. Okay, guess what? Birth control came in around then. Okay. And women got to have a little bit more control over their lives and their bodies. Okay. Birth control meant that women did not have to birth as many babies, particularly if the family couldn't afford them. It was one of the greatest things that helped quality of life for women in America is being able to have some control over family planning, birth control. So that is why birth rates have declined sharply since 1960. While they still make it more expensive to raise children with the cost of college going up and everything else that they do, and then when the tax rates change, because remember in the 1950s, corporations were being taxed a lot more, and rich people were being taxed a lot more. Then when that dropped, it was the middle class that was picking up the burden, and the middle class could no longer afford those babies. So if Donald Trump thinks that $5,000 is enough to raise a child on, well, he doesn't think that. He just doesn't care. What he's thinking is that the stupid MAGA who are going to birth all these white babies for him. Up next to what I think that he thinks that they'll think that $5,000, yeah, I can raise a kid on that, honey. You can buy a dozen eggs for that. So we know that Elon Musk thinks that he's got this super duper sperm, and that's why he's had 14 kids with I don't know how many different women, because he thinks he's superior. And so you can tell that he's been working on Trump with that. Now, Trump's got 5 kids with 3 different women, and there might be some others floating around out there if you believe the rumors. So he also, now at first he was against in vitro fertilization, IVF, because I guess some in the far right didn't like that. Well, then he sort of got into this no, because most of the people that are using IVF, because it's expensive, they have to pay for it. So it's probably white people, because they would still have the economic advantage in this country over people of color. So that's how you get more white babies. And I think that was why he reversed his position on IVF. So it's nuts. It's nuts. Trump also thinks that he's got big, beautiful sperm. But at his age, I'm pretty sure there's nothing happening there. But anybody who still has doubts or wants to deny that Trump is a stone cold racist, they're just deluding themselves, or they're lying to you. There is no question what he is. No question at all. He has proven to us throughout his entire life that he is a white supremacist and racist. Now, in December of 2015, I was on Twitter, and I was in some kind of a Twitter fight with some right wing, I don't know, radio guy. And Trump apparently was watching. He jumped in on this Twitter conversation that I was having with a racist. And this, again, during the primary. And what he posted, he jumped in on this conversation that he was not tagged in or anything. He just, not even a part of it. So Trump jumps in on Twitter and he posts this fake thing. It's fake black crime stats that he got from one of his favorite white supremacists. And Trump posted it on my Twitter feed, on my Twitter conversation. Fake black crime stats that made it look like black people were committing all these crimes when in fact the statistics do not show that. And he even, listen to this, he even was quoting a fake, made up, non-existent government agency. Now, he got caught on that. People were bringing it up. He eventually, tried to deny it or blame it on somebody else, but it stayed up. And since then, whenever I pop that up there, because I'm tagged on that tweet, that Trump put out fake black crime stats that all these MAGA people believe. They all believe it. It's obviously been debunked. The agency he was quoting doesn't exist. He's an idiot. And he knows that all he has to do is put that out there. And all his racist MAGA followers, or at that time, if the racists hadn't found him yet, this was the dog whistle to let them know, I'm your guy. Now they don't even hide it. Now they don't even hide it. He has a super white cabinet, right? He doesn't like black people on the floor of his casinos. You know about the Central Park Five, how he wanted them to get the death penalty, and he put out the big ad in the New York Times because they were black men. They were innocent. They were never found guilty. They were eventually exonerated of that. Trump never apologized. Never. Never. And he would have to pay black people to show up at his rallies and his events. And then he'd say, look, my African American, and point to the one person in the crowd as if he owned them. This is who he is. This is who he's always been. Always. Always, always, always. And we've had these arguments with MAGA for the past 9.5 years. But the fact that he is doing everything in his power, and even things that are not within his power, but he's doing it anyway, unconstitutionally and illegally. He is doing everything he can to disappear brown and black people from this country, or at least from his site, just as he did on the casino floors, just as he did with his apartment buildings, even after he was sued once by DOJ for racial discrimination, for denying apartments to black people, having his employees mark their applications with a C for colored so they know to turn that person away, because there wasn't going to be any other information on the application that would make them reject them. C for colored. C for colored. And now, in true Elon Musk form, he wants to track. Well, first of all, they want to track menstrual cycles. They want an app. By the way, there's an app for this, whether you can keep track of your menstrual cycle. Don't do it, girls, ladies. It's a way for the government to track you. Then they're going to need to know when you're ovulating. They're going to need to know if you're crossing state lines to get an abortion. Do everything you can to keep such personal information out of the hands of them. I'm not even sure if I would tell a doctor, if I were a young woman, if I would even tell a doctor when they ask you when was your last, when they ask you about the time of your menstrual cycle, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. I think it's too dangerous. So to want to teach girls and women about their menstrual cycle, I'm going to give these classes so that they have a better chance of knowing how to get pregnant sooner and more often, to make more white babies, and they'll get paid $5,000. This is what's happening in America now with Donald Trump. So we hear that Elon Musk is, stepping back from Doge because he tanked Tesla. But then we're also hearing that he's still going to be doing this behind the scenes. He's just staying out of the limelight because he's one of the most hated men in America. His companies are failing. Also, maybe he's just not as talented as he thinks. He knows how to take the work of other people and capitalize on it. But Elon Musk can't build anything from scratch. Never has. Neither is Trump. Neither is Trump. They're both arrogant losers who were born to rich daddies and were taught how to lie, cheat, and steal and exploit other people. That's it. It's pretty much the long and the short of it with these guys. I haven't seen any genius ideas. I just see a hot mess, a real hot mess. So what they're doing now is incentivizing making more white babies. And that goes right along with Trump's lifelong racism, white supremacism, only now it's out in the open, and now they actually are doing something about it. And that is frightening. So here's what I want. I want everybody to contact your Republican elected officials and ask them about this. Better yet, get reporters, or if you're a reporter and you happen to come by this, ask every Republican running for office or running for re-election about this. See how they feel about it. Get them on the record. If they say, oh, well, I don't know anything about that, I haven't read it, say, here it is, hold your phone up. But I think this is something that we need to not make just a one day story, not kind of smirk and laugh at, because we know where this is leading. We know where this is leading, and it's not going to turn out well. So get busy.